Hi everyone, how are you? Hope you all are fine and doing good. As due to COVID 19, we have to stay at home, but our study must go on. So, myself Neeraj, and let us start with chapter number 5, class ninth, Biology, the fundamental unit of life, the cell. Let us start with introduction of cell. The cell is the building block of life. Cells are microscopic units that form the basic structural and functional unit of life. Each organism is made up of cells. All cells contain DNA as their genetic material and uses same basic mechanism for energy metabolism. All cells are capable of carrying out basic functions such as nutrition, respiration, growth, reproduction, which are essential for survival of the living thing. Do you know who discovered this cell? Let me tell you. That cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 while examining a thin slice of cork under his self designed microscope. He saw that the cork resembled the structure of honeycomb consisting of many little compartments. Now, what is cork? Cork is a substance which comes from the bark of the tree. As you can see, this figure, this is a cork and cork is a dead tissue. Tissue is a group of similar cells that perform the same function. This considered as a very small and insignificant incident, but it turned the history of science. The compartments seen by Robert Hooke were named as cells. Cells is a Latin word derived from cellula. Cellula means a little room. What are living organisms made up of? As I have told you earlier also, that living things are made up of cells. All living things like plants, animals, humans are made up of cells. Organisms may occur as unicellular or multicellular, which we will study it later on. Just as the wall is made up of bricks, all living things are made up of microscopic units called cells. Thus, cell is the building block of life. This is the microscope used by Robert Hooke to observe the cork, and these are the honeycomb-like structure seen by the Robert Hooke. As you can see, there are little hexagonal compartments which he termed as cell. There is so much space between cells as you can see in the picture. Now we will study about the compound microscope. What is microscope? Microscope is an instrument that makes an enlarged image of a small object that cannot be seen with naked eyes. Microscope magnifies the image of cell microorganisms which we cannot see. Now let us start an activity on making onion peel and observing it under microscope. Let us take an onion and cut it laterally into 4-5 pieces with help of a knife. Now take one piece and move a scale leaf from one of the pieces. Then break the scale from the middle and peel a small portion from the delicate epidermis, means covering that covers the inner surface of a scale leaf. Remove the delicate epidermal peel with the help of forceps and place it in a glass containing distilled water. Take another watch glass and Put 2-3 drops of saffron in it. Now transfer the peel from water into saffron with help of brush for staining and wait for 2-3 minutes. After 2-3 minutes, transfer again the peel back to the watchglass containing water. This will remove the extra stain sticking to the pail. Now take a glass slide and pour 1-2 drops of glycerin over it. Transfer the peel over the glycerin with help of brush. Now, with the help of needle and brush, flatten the peel which may curl up. Place the cover slip on the slide in such a way that there must be no air bubble inside it. Gently press the cover slip with needle to spread glycerin and peel properly. Remove the extra material surrounding the slide with help of blotting paper. Now observe the slide under compound microscope and you can see that there are large number of hexagonal cells as seen in the figure which lie side by side having distinct cell walls, cell membrane and dark black color dot is nucleus. Now take onion of different sizes and try to make peel and examine under microscope. We can observe that onion bulb of different size have similar small structures visible under a microscope regardless of size of the onion they came from. These small structures that we see are the basic building units of onion bulb and these structures are called cells. Not only onions but all other organisms that we observe are made up of cells and some organisms are made up of only single cell that live on their own. Cells discovered by Robert Hooke were dead. First living cells was discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek and nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. Perkinse gave the term protoplasm for the fluid substance present inside the cell. Later on, cell organelles were discovered. Now we will study about cell theory, which state that all plants and animals are composed of cell and cell is the basic unit of life. Was presented by two biologists, Sleeden and Schwann, in 1839, which was further expanded by Virchow, which suggests that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Main points of the cell theory given by both of scientists are all organisms are composed of cells. Cells are structural and functional unit of life. All cells arise from pre-existing cells and every organism starts its life as a single cell except virus. Now we will study about type of organisms. As you can see, there are unicellular organisms as well as multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are organisms made up of single cells like bacteria, protozoa, amoeba. As you can see in figure, this is bacteria and this is amoeba, which is unicellular, and all single cell perform all functions. In multicellular organisms, the organisms are made up of many cells like in plants, animals. In human body, there are many types of cells are present like blood cells. Red blood cells make color of the blood red. Bone cells are present in bones and muscle cells are for locomotion and movement. Nerve cell that carry message from one part of body to another part, and fat cell, sperm cell and ovum cell. So many cells are found in human body. Shape and size of cell varies as some cells have variable shape like amoeba and some have fixed shape like nerve cells. Cell may have diverse shapes like spherical, oval, spindle shaped, elongated. And size of cells vary from some micrometers as in bacteria to very large cells as egg of ostrich. Largest human cell is the nerve cell. Shape and size of the cell depend on the function they have to perform. Here is difference between unicellular as well as multicellular organism. Unicellular organism is represented by single cell. All the activities are performed by single cell. There is no division of labor. Reproduction consumes a single cell and lifespan is short. Whereas in multicellular organisms, it consists of large number of cells. A single cell performs only few functions. Cells are specialized to perform different functions. There is division of labor. Only some of cells, called germ cells, take part in reproduction. We will study about type of cells. There are two types of cells, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are unicellular organisms lacking nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Single circular piece of DNA is located in an area known as nucleoid. Example, archaea, bacteria. And now we will study about eukaryotes. Eukaryotes are organisms that contain nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. There are chromosomes that contain DNA inside the nucleus. Example, fungi, plants and animals are eukaryotes. Here you can see the difference between prokaryotic cell as well as eukaryotic cell. Size of prokaryotic cell is generally small, 1 to 10 mm, whereas eukaryotic cell is larger in size, 5 to 100 mm. Nucleus is absent in prokaryotic cell whereas present in eukaryotic cell. It contains single chromosomes. Eukaryotic cell contain more than one chromosome. Nucleolus is absent in prokaryotic whereas it is present in eukaryotic cell. Membrane-bound cell organelles are absent in prokaryotes, whereas membrane-bound cell organelles such as mitochondria, plastids, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes are present in eukaryotic cells. Take place by fission in prokaryotic, whereas mitotic cell division take place in eukaryotes. Here you can see the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. In prokaryotic cell, there are less organelles, whereas eukaryotic contain more than organelles. Shape and size of cells are related to the function they perform. Each cell has capacity to perform basic functions that are characteristics of all living beings. And there is division of labor in multicellular organisms, means different cells perform different functions. Division of work is there among cells in an organism. They are specialized in their function and have special features to allow them to do so. This designation of different function allows efficient functioning in multicellular organisms. As division of labor means division of work, like in human, heart pumps blood, stomachs digest food, skeletal muscles are for movement and locomotion, and so on. There are so many cells that help body to perform its function. Do you know what a cell is made up of? A cell has certain components within it known as cell organelles, which we will study it later on. Each kind of cell organelle perform a special function, such as making new material in the cell, clearing up the waste from the cell, and so on. A cell is able to live and perform all its function because of these organelles only. These organelles together make the basic unit called cell. Now try to answer the questions given below. Who discovered cells and how? Write difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a nice day and nice time.